Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about news trading strategy. You're looking at my website at the moment. So what is news trading strategy? A news trading strategy takes into the account news and market expectations before news releases and also after news releases. So it's very important. Let's just have a look at some economic calendars that you may want to use. If you're using eToro, which I am popular investor here, eToro uses investing.com economic calendar anyway. So we can go here and see what news we have and how important they are. So the impact of this news on investing.com, if you have more two goals ahead or three, so it's more and more strong. Anyway, another way to look at the news, you should go and find the based on the basket that you have. For example, if you have apple in your basket, just go and find dates that they're gonna release the information. So here also on the eToro platform, you can see if you go to any stock here and you go to stats, you can see previous close, PE ratio. PE ratio is very important. I'm not going to discuss any of these numbers here because it's not on the agenda for this video. We can discuss all of these numbers in another videos anyway. So yeah, you can see here net income, total revenue every quarter. So if you go and you do your research on different websites and you see when is the next news release and set your strategy based on that date and information that you expect to happen. So the expectation is very important. I use daily FX's calendar. That's more user friendly, I think. So it doesn't matter which calendar you use, that's personal because most of them has the most important ones. Even you can choose on here which one you want. So if you want to just show high importance or medium or low, just choose that one. I'll leave it for as it is anyway. So back to the website. News trading tips. So how you wanna do the news trading? First, I'm gonna give you some tips. News can travel very quickly on digital media, so you need to be quick. So you know what time the news will be released. For example, if you're using daily FX calendar here, just set the time zone to your time zone. I'm using the GMT plus 8 because this is my time zone anyway. Then it gives you the times for each event, so you know what time the news will be released, and then at that moment you just check the news, and you should have prepared a strategy from before. So based on the news and the expectation and how far is it from the expectation, what would you do? So you don't have time to just sit and say, okay, now what should I do? What strategy should I have? You should prepare different strategies. So for example, here, if you can see that the balance of trade for Australia. Okay, that was in what day was it? 5th of October. Okay, at 8:30 we have this news. The forecast was 10.3 billion, but the actual is 15. So this is the good news. This means that Australian dollar should go up, and this is 8:30 in the morning. So if you go to here, look for Australian dollar, then for example, against US dollar, we are looking at hourly. So you can see here it's gone up on 5th of October. Anyway, so that's one point. So news can travel very quickly. So you need to prepare your trading strategy before the news and yeah, act accordingly. So if the expectation, if the result is more than expectation, what you should do, and if it's worse than expectation, I should say better and worse. So what you do in any situation. Uh, so you should make a quick judgment to figure out if the news already fully factored into the price or not. So this is very important. Normally when the result is very similar, for example here, you can see the retail sale is forecasted at minus 1.7 and the actual is minus 1.7. So if the trend is up and or down or steady or sideways, this event is not that important for this market. So yeah, I go back to here. You should make quick judgment without the news already factored into the price or not. So if the forecast is very similar, it looks like that. Okay, it's forecasted. Um, Even though the previous one was even less, and this is uh, better, but it doesn't have that much impact because it's already priced in, and people actually expected that to happen. So that's what I'm saying. Or here you can see inflation was minus 0.02. People expected, market expected to have 0.7%, but all of a sudden you see 1.68% actual. So for Thailand currency, that had a very big impact. So that's how you interpret this news. So when someone said, "Oh, this is already priced in," uh, it means that people knew that that's gonna happen. So not much bigger or less than forecast. But here you can see 0.3 was the forecast for the industrial production for France. Um, Previous one was 0.5. People expected less number, but all of a sudden they see bigger numbers. So this is very good for France currency on that day. Back to the weblock, another point. If the price is not matching the expectation, we should see how far it is from the expected number. That's why I said, if the more distance between the expectation and the actual price, the more effect we have. It has on the market. So use any news as an individual entry, and if there is more than one news, use your judgment for the combined outcome. That's very important. So on a day you can see we have very good news for example, United Kingdom. On this one we can see new car sales is dropping for United Kingdom, and then at the same day you see that France had a bit better market composite PMI. Then you decide, if I'm gonna trade on this pair, for example, if there is if your broker has that pair anyway, then what these effects are in combined on the currency, which one is more stronger. So you should take all of these into the account. Then, as I said, next point is have a strategy for any specific news. So if you're waiting on, for example, on this specific number, which is, let me just filter this to high and medium. I'm just removing the low one. Okay. So if you are waiting for consumer credit change in the United States, and you see the expectation was very similar to the previous one, and the actual is dropping. So you should have the strategy. If it's less than forecast, what should I do? Market next one, moves are based on demand and supply. I have a video about this, so I'm explaining how stock markets or forex market prices and market moves are based on demand and supply. So you can go and have a look at that one anyway. But demand is heavily affected by the news. So people rush to buy something, invest in something if they hear good news about it. So if a company like Tesla says, okay, we had better than expectation profits, then that's a good news. Then all people are going to buy the stock, and that demand just sends the price higher and higher. What good thing about news trading is that every day there is a lot of news, so we have lots of opportunities to trade. As you can see here, every day. This is 8th of October. You can see we have Canada, United States, Japan, Australia. Something happens at any corner of the world. So here, Canada, you can see this is very good for employment change for Canada. But what day is that? That was 8th of October. Okay. So 8th of October, you can see at 2030 in our time, the employment work change was 157. This is very good. Okay. So for example, for this one, let's go back to the chart and check it for ourselves. So US dollar for West Canada, for example, 8th of October, and the timing was 20 something. So you can see here this big plot exactly after news release that okay, Canada has very good employment rates now, better than expectation. So the US dollar versus Canada goes down because Canada gets stronger. So this is how important is the news. So let's finish this couple of notes here. The market normally gets volatile if the news is not at the expectations. As you can see here, the volatility rise and drops fast. Then you have this news. Another point is you should use a stop loss to prevent using the previous resistance and support line to prevent the big losses. So if we expect this to fall, we should go and find also the resistance and support. So here, for example, I'm going to just use tools like maybe a line, maybe. Here you can see. Oops, sorry. It's always not that user friendly anyway. So if you draw a line here, you can always put your stop loss somewhere above this line. But as you can see, it's on the downtrend. And when we hear very, very good news for Canada, then the price even drops more. So, yeah, using the stop loss. And yeah, I think we covered mostly everything. You should just go and create your basket for your trading. If for the stock I'm talking about, then find the news and events for that stock, those stock markets, and then just follow those and be on time. For stock trading, you should take into the account the closing uh, times for the market and even for the commodities and the others, So the end of day trading strategy you should have for yourself as well, and also you may decide to do some swing trading, for example, based on the news. These are things that you should include in your strategies, and be prepared for the news trading. Yeah, that was all for today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.